I'm Vicki Hogarth, and welcome to Southwest Magazine. I'm joined today by Debby Lord and Agostino McNeil from the Community Youth Activity Center here in St. Andrews. Thank you both for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, yeah.
We want to shine a light today on exactly what happens at the youth center and why more young people especially should get involved and come check out what you're doing. So Debbie, can you give us an overview to start about what you do with the youth center, and then Agostino will talk to you after about what it's like to go there.
Okay.
Yeah, be a good volunteer he is. He's awesome. Yeah, no, we have a lot of things for the kids to do. Like we have a gaming area, we have a TV area, we have a place where they can sit and play games. We have a half gym and like a half basketball court. We have a skate park outside. We have a full basketball court outside. We got a pump track. Of course, that stuff's not really being used right now, but in the summer it is. We also serve supper to the kids, and they eat supper. We have a baking, like after schools on Wednesday, and we have Nerf guns on Fridays. Well, Nerf wars, whatever you want to call it. Different things going on, and if the kids want anything, like any activity they'd like to see happen, then just let me know, and then we can see if we can make it happen. And just a place to come and hang out, be with your friends, get out of the cold, get out of the rain, whatever the weather's like, or just a place to come and hang out and have fun.
And we're neighbors with you here at the W.C. O'Neill Arena, which is great because you're also right next door to skating and hockey and all kinds of activities that take place here. And I must say it's a pretty impressive skate park that I see while I'm over here working.
Yeah, some of them are pretty good on it, and some of them use scooters and stuff on them too, and a little bit of stump bikes and stuff like that. So it's just not for skateboards, but you know, anything, scooters, all that stuff can be used on it. Now, I use it.
Agostino, I know that you are a volunteer at the youth center now, but I also know that when you moved here from Ontario, the youth center became the way you really got introduced to younger people in the community and also became an active part of St. Andrew's life. Can you tell us a little bit about what it was like when you first moved to town and how the youth center helped out?
Well, for me, my mom and I were driving the first time I saw the youth center, and I knew it hit me spot on that I really wanted to volunteer there, help out. And I loved meeting new people. I'm a friendly guy, and yeah.
So what did you like about it right off the bat? I think I met you because when you walked to the youth center, you'd walk by CHCO, and I think that's how I got introduced to you, is that you were walking there pretty much every day, and the youth center is open 5 days a week, so it's a great place to go routinely after school or just in the afternoons if you're a bit older.
For me, I like going there. It just gets me out of the house. Like, I don't want to be stuck in my room the whole day. I like to go there Monday to Friday just to like help out. Play games, because I love games and stuff like that. I love to run dodgeball, and I sometimes do stuff in the gym for them, and host bingo there. There's like a mini bingo game I host there as well.
Now, do you ever, I know that there's meal prep that goes on there, which I think is really neat. I know you're a very good cook because I've been the recipient of some meatballs. Do you also help out in the kitchen? So?
He eats it. He tests it to make sure it's okay.
Yeah, I test it. Yeah, I'm like Gordon Ramsay in the kitchen, testing things people make.
So how does that work, Debbie? You said kids can go there and have dinner as well. Let's say their parents work late or just aren't home when they're coming home from school. How does the meal prep work, and do they learn a little bit about cooking?
Some of them help out and some don't, and it's something I don't enforce on the kids. Like, it's kind of their time. Sometimes kids come there, and so I'll serve some kids a bit early because they're going off to basketball or some kind of activity that they need to get back to the school for. So yeah, it's just, you know, a lot of times, like the other day, yesterday, one of the kids made all the grilled cheese and stuff like that. So yeah, they help.
Wow. And is that something, if you express interest in learning to cook, that you can get involved with as a youth?
We actually have some students, international students, that have actually cooked some German meals there. And so they were pretty good. And so, yeah, so they cook meals. Some kids cook meals. They say, you want a day off from cooking? And, yeah, they cook the meal and stuff. And Yeah.
And I imagine at that age, so the age is about 12 to 18 of, of kids
middle
that
school
come.
and up. Yep.
Tends to be the hungriest ages, if I remember high school properly. Like afternoon, when you got home from school, it was high time for a snack before dinner.
Yep.
Debbie, can we talk a little bit about your time at the youth center? I know for anyone who lives in the St. Andrews area, you're a pretty familiar face and you're so involved with the youth in the community. How long have you been there?
Oh God, I've been there since it opened up, and I think which was 2005. And actually, there was a place downstairs that was a youth center, and we used that until the building was ready. So I think it was 2005, January 2005, that I was hired on by the town, and I've been here ever since.
Wow.
And I love it. Yeah.
Have you seen it? I mean, when you have something as important as a youth center, you really do, when you live in a community, see how it starts to shape the neighborhood. How have you seen it affect kids' lives in St. Andrews for the better?
I think it helps some of the kids get through life, and just a place to come, and like especially kids who live out in the country who don't really have any place to hang around with after school. I think sometimes like school is different. You know, you're different with your friends in school, but then when you get out and be involved in the youth center and stuff like that, you know, it gives you a chance just to socialize, that you're not in school and have a certain time limit. So, yeah.
Is that what you found, Agostino, that your first friends here sort of came from going there? Myself not included, obviously.
Yeah, all my friends, I would go out to the skate park and just like talk to people and try to make friends and stuff like that. Even inside, I would make friends with.
It's a pretty neat building. Beautiful, I will say beautiful kitchen as someone older. That's the first thing you notice, how nice the kitchen is, but also a great place to, even if you wanted to watch a hockey game or anything. Yeah. So what kind of activities do you tend to do there?
I tend to play games, like if someone wants to play Uno, I'll play Uno with them, or Skipple or Phase 10. I'd play games with them. Sometimes, like if there's an extra remote, I would play video games with them, like hockey or something like that. And sometimes
What about is the number of kids generally that you would see any given day after school at the youth center?
Anywhere from 10 to 20, 10 to 15, 20. Yeah, and then it sort of slows down as the evening goes on and stuff like that. So, yeah, but Agostino, though, he's pretty much the star of the place. Like, I mean, and Georgie too. Like in Georgie's not there right now, but oh yeah, like I mean, those two people, they look forward to seeing them, and they play an important role in the kids' lives. And which I really like, you know, because even though he's a Montreal fan, like, you know,
I see you on that.
So, you know, we even let him in with their shirts on, but.
So how did you transition then, Agostino, from first going to the youth center? Obviously that prepared you for the role you're in now, which is more in a volunteer capacity.
I'll just say I love kids, and I just like to hang out with them, and like just want to volunteer because, as Debbie said, it's just her, and I want to help out, like volunteer, help out, and stuff like that. That's a good role for me.
Do a lot of, and Georgie, again, another example, a lot of the kids that you see going there in their youth, do many stay on after to volunteer and give back to the center?
Yep, they do.
That way.
They do. We got quite a few of them that come back, and not all, like, you know, only when the summers, because a lot of times they're off in university, or some do move back in town for a bit and then move back out of town. And the only thing is that they have to have a police record check and a vulnerability check done, and then it allows them to come and be a volunteer at the youth center. We have quite a few of them like to come back and do that.
And you and Georgie as well are tied to other, I guess the youth center could prepare you for other volunteer roles as well, or being very community oriented. Because I know I see you and Georgie every week at the community kitchen lunch. It's a community lunch on Fridays. Can we talk a little bit about some of the programs that are affiliated with the youth center? One that stands out to me is the Propel program, which Agostino, you're a part of. Hobie Hahn's another example. How does the youth center get tied to programs like that offer kids that are growing up other skills?
Sometimes they just get a hold of me, some of these associations, or sometimes I've reached out to different associations and asked them if there's any programming or anything that they can offer us, or just reach out that way. And they're awesome. Like Char and Rhoda, they're just so awesome. And the Propel program is a very good program, and just hopefully it go on and on and on as the years go, and it really prepares kids for life. Like, you learn a lot.
Can you talk us about, I know it comes from, it's an offshoot of Big Brothers, Big Sisters, right?
Exactly.
Can you tell us a little bit more about Propel and how it prepares kids for certain life skills and future programs?
They sometimes try to help them find themselves, to see what kind of things that they're interested in once they leave high school. Like if they're interested in being in a trade or being in the university, they also tell them like how to spend their money and how to like save their money, and how the bank on how they can go and get loans and prepare themselves for the years ahead of themselves. Mm-hmm. I even learned some stuff because I listen in on them, and I'm like, oh wow, that sounds like So it's it's really good, and they have guest people come in and talk about their careers and stuff like that. So it's really neat. They even have people that have started their own business and come in and tell them how they started it and how well they're doing and what they need to do, and it's pretty cool.
And is that hosted at the youth center? So it's just something that you can show up for your regular after school youth center
usually
day?
They have to sign up for this one. So it's usually like it's on Mondays from like 3:45 to quarter after 5. And and so they come and they bring them supper and everything. So it's like, and if it's their birthday, they'll try to bring in food that they like for their birthday and the cake and all that stuff. So it's really personable and just really nice.
I'll use Hobie Hahn as an example because we all love Hobie. I think anyone.
And he got into college. I'm so proud of him.
That's what I was going to say, is that going through Propel first, I think he found out this week he's been accepted to culinary school at NBCC. So it shows you that taking extra time to look at like what are your options as you get older, and at that age in high school you really have to start thinking about that. But I love to see someone like Hobie take a program like Propel and then propel himself forward to such an exciting new venture. Agostino, you did the Propel program too, so I'd love to hear what that was like and what you got out of it.
Well, I got lots out of it. Like, I love going there, listening, learning new things. This is my second time joining, and it was really pretty good. I like listening in, like learning about the colors of your path or whatever they have there. But it's really nice. Like, the girls are really nice. Sometimes we get on each other, like banter a little more, joke around. It's really fun to be there for.
So can you give some examples of some of the speakers they've had in? And can you also, as a person who's in the Propel program, can you say, hey, I'd really like to learn more about this career path. Okay. Could we maybe have a guest speaker on this topic come in?
Yeah. Well, we do have some people from a bank talk about like savings, loans, and budgeting, something like that. I would really like to see more about checkings and savings, like that. Like bring more people who like know more about checking and savings and needs and wants of what you really need and what you really want, like what wants and needs are.
So the Propel is more than just giving you job opportunities and looking at career paths. It does offer certain life skills that I'm sure I could use a refresher on myself.
And if they're interested in it, they just tell them and they try to make it happen.
Wow.
So it's really neat.
Some other projects that the Youth Center is involved in. I know there's a new music program coming up. Can you tell how you're involved in the music community here, Debbie?
Well, it's sort of like on hold right now because the person that was doing it his career has taken off, and so he's gotten really busy and he might not be able to do it. So I am looking for people who play drums, guitars, keyboards, whatever. They can get a hold of me, and then they can come up, and I'm sort of want to get a jam night going, so that we can get the Battle of the Bands back at the high school. Like when my kids were growing up, they had the Battle of the Bands, and I kind of like to see that kind of come back, and like playing instruments and stuff, and that. So if anybody's out there that wants to burn some time and volunteer, please come and see me.
So that would be musician volunteers to come help the kids out and learn more about music?
Yes, exactly.
I guess there would be, I mean, I think it's, I know here at CHCO, and Agostino knows from being a volunteer here as well, we love to involve the youth in what we do because they're the next generation. Hopefully they will carry on the torch from us at one point too. But obviously there's often, and I hear it a lot here too, a lot of adults in the community who want to learn to give back in a way that's very youth-centric. So maybe there is a way at the youth center, whether it be cooking classes or like you say, cooking skills or knitting. What kind of volunteers would you be open to there, offering maybe some skills to kids?
Art, baking, cooking, especially in preserves and stuff like that, because we have a garden and stuff like that. And I like to have some people come in and do that, maybe even quilt making. Anything, and another thing too is rug hooking, which would be a kind of neat one for the kids to learn. Anything that people have talents and want to share with kids, just please come and see me at the youth center, and you know, we can get a group of kids together and make it happen.
I know a lot of young people in this community see you as like a second mom, and having been at the youth center for as long as you've been there, I guess you've seen some kids since the age is 12 that start to go there. You've seen kids grow up and become adults themselves. What's some of the feedback you get from them years later when they look back on their time at the youth center and how important it was?
You know, they all come back and I get hugs and everything from them, and it's like, and some of them say, and some of them have kids of their own now, and I'm actually one of the kids that used to come to the youth center, and now her daughter's coming. And so it's like, oh my goodness me, I'm getting up there now. You know? So it's like, but now I got some kids, and you know, and then I'm talking about retiring because I am getting up there, and they said, no, you can't retire until my child's old enough to go into the youth center. But like, you know, they can come in there at 8 during our summer programs. Like we have a program in the summer from 1 to 4 for kids, and then also March break too. We open it from 1 to 4 for kids, so people don't go away anywhere. They have a place to come and hang out. And also too, that week after Christmas too, like kids want to come there that are 12, like 8-year-olds to 12 years old. They're more than welcome to come for a few hours in the afternoon, and then switch it over to the older kids after that.
Now you mentioned, on the note of summer, the youth center garden. Can you tell us a little bit about that, what you grow, and how everyone is involved?
The kids, we usually start the seedlings in the like probably, and it all depends on how much snow we have on the ground. I gotta start things in the middle of March or the end of March, and then we start, like, you know, there's tomatoes and cucumbers we start, and then squash and all them different things we start, and then you know, we grow them and then we just put them back into the garden. We also have a greenhouse there, and that's where we put our cucumbers and our tomatoes because they do really well in heat. And so we have those in our greenhouse, and then we plant carrots, peas, beans, and all that stuff outside. We also have a pear tree, about 3 or 4 apple trees, and a plum tree. The plum tree this year was amazing, and we made plum jam out of some of the stuff in that. So we had a lot of plums.
And then do you also cook with that? I would imagine, since you... Okay. And I'm sure the skate park, I know we've touched on this a little bit, but it is a pretty impressive skate park. What is the history of the skate park, and who generally uses it? Oh,
a lot of people use it. And it started way back when my kids actually were 12 years old. I think it was a guy named Jeremy who used to run a youth center that was downstairs. And they built that cement, the box there, the cement block, and that's still there. And I mean, that's, you know, that's quite a few years ago, because my kids are in their, I think my son's 35, my oldest, and the next one's 34, so they helped build it. And so it's been there for quite a while. And then then we started, I don't know, Pat Skelton, he was the one who sort of got TSN and craft, and we applied for that, and we ended up winning it. And then we got the $25,000 gift, like $25,000 from TSN and craft. And so that's how we got the black box over there, like with the ramps and stuff. And then we also repaired the other ramps that had the old wood on them, and they were rotting, and so we repaired that with that too. So now the kids really want to get more ramps involved. So I'm hoping that because a group of parents that were involved in fundraising and doing a lot of work for that, their kids have moved on. And so now I'm looking for another group of parents that, you know, their kids are using the youth center or their skate park. It'd be neat we can start doing some more fundraising to get more ramps and stuff.
So the call is out there for parents at home to
Volunteer.
get involved as well.
Yep.
Besides that, adding the ramps to the skate park, what are some of your hopes and dreams for the future of the youth center here in St. Andrews?
Oh goodness, they keep going, and also too, like we have hockey gear, and we have skates, and we have stuff like that, and sports gear. If kids need anything, just to come there, and then they can use it for the season, and then when they outgrow it, come back the following year, and then exchange it and get other gear and stuff like that. So we have that there too, and I'm hoping that will continue, because I'm hoping to retire soon, because it's time. And you know, I got 9 grandkids, and I just want to spend a lot of time with them now, because my oldest is 13. No, is he 13? I just want to spend some time with them before they grow up. And so that's, you know, cut back on my hours and do stuff like that. But I'm always going to be there for the kids. Doesn't matter where I am. If they need anything, come and see me. That's right, Augo?
Yeah.
We'll still hang out.
Yeah.
Now, let's say someone had maybe hockey equipment or any kind of donation, be it a financial one or something that might be of use to the youth center. How do they get in touch to make a donation?
They usually call me, or they come by and say, I got a bag of hockey gear, Debby, like, you know, can you use it? And if I need, I mean, you know, if I'm getting low on hockey gear, yes, I'll take the hockey gear and then put it up in the attic, and I got it all organized up there. Donations, they just go down and see the town, down to the town hall, and they can make a donation through there. And or even food, like sometimes too, like bags, like boxes of granola bars or something, or like treats for after school. People sometimes drop off fruit and treats and stuff for after school.
So in terms of, let's say there's a kid at home watching this, maybe not ready to go every day after school, but is thinking about it. I know that you put on a lot of special events. For instance, I think there's a Montreal versus Toronto hockey game coming up.
Yeah, it's a family day event.
I think I might even come to, because you need a crowd to watch Montreal versus Toronto. The room needs to be divided.
Exactly. And bring your colors and your flags and whatever. But yeah, we're having a spaghetti dinner. And so it's going to start at 4 o'clock until 8 o'clock. We're going to be playing games and stuff, like board games, or going to the gym. And families are welcome. Like I'm trying to, because it's Family Day weekend that's happening. It's the 18th and February 18th. And so I'm hoping people will come with their families and sit and play board games with their kids or other people's kids and just have fun. And then probably about 8 o'clock, I think the younger ones can go their own way home. And then we'll open up mostly for the kids in high school. And people who want to come in and to watch the game and cheer on their team, and you know, which is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun when you have that rivalry teams. Like
I do follow, and I think I get this mostly through the town email for people at home. If you sign up just to the Town of St. Andrews regular email, you will get all the youth center special events. But are there other ways to follow what's happening at the youth center through Facebook or?
Usually I put them on my page too, and then either that or I make a lot of posters and we put them up at the school and we put them up around town and at the youth center too. People can come by and just drop by, and you know, that's how a lot of times they get their summer programs, so they come by and get it. And also I can send them out through the schools and stuff like that. And school does it too. They put it on their page and send it out.
Oh, nice. And Agostino, if you were going to give some advice to kids at home who haven't checked out the youth center yet but are thinking about it, what would you tell them about why it's so special?
Well, there's a gaming table, there's games, there's video games, like from PlayStations to Xbox to, I can't think of the word, but a Switch. It came to me, thank gosh. A computer. From in the gym, I'd say come on and check it out. Like,
And you, Debbie?
Yep, exactly the same thing what he says. He knows what he's talking about.
Well, thank you so much both for coming here today and telling us more about the youth center here in St. Andrews. Since you're my neighbors, I will be by again soon to check it out once again.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
My guests today have been Debby Lord and Agostino McNeil from the Youth Center in St. Andrews. I'm Vicki Hogarth. Thank you for watching Southwest Magazine.
Southwest Magazine is a news and public affairs production of CHCO Television.